Hi everyone, Sam Jackson here. So today I'm going to be talking about how I passed the Nordic Funder 100k challenge recently using EA Studio robots. So I'll move over to the computer and I will show you how that was done. So the Nordic Funder, you can see I'm on the live account now. If we move to the challenge account, you can see that this has exceeded its 10% and has passed the challenge effectively. So in terms of the Nordic Funder, I don't love the portal. It's very basic with the summary. So it gives you some stats. It gives you the equity, balance, high water mark, monthly return, quick snapshot of the rules, and kind of shows how you're doing. I would prefer it gave you a graph, much like FTMO, which I did a recent video on. What it does give, which again is pretty basic, is it shows history. Oh, these are all closed trades. So you can see your trade history. So you can see this one had a very good run towards the end and hit the target. FTMO, for example, you can really just look at the portal and see how you're doing. With this one, you kind of want to link up to FX Blue. So let's maybe take a look at that equity curve, which is, maybe do it through the portal. So I've put it on the challenges so the FX Blue history can be seen there. Sam's Nordic 100k challenge. And so we've got the link here. The portfolio I have changed a couple of times. So we can see that the equity curve got off to a pretty good start and then it stagnated for a long time. And in this period of stagnation, I changed the portfolio. I'd let it go for quite a long time, but by this point, after a couple of months of stagnation, I took off some of the poor performers. And so you can see that mostly it's been USD JPY and Euro USD, and with a small portion from these other ones. You kind of want to link up FX Blue with your MT4 terminal to be able to kind of get a breakdown of the equity curve. The portfolio I had, you can see that there's actually several of these pairs I actually removed. They weren't good performers, but the portfolio that's actually left at the moment is 5 EAs. And so you can see I had a very good run towards the end. So when I removed them around this period, I wouldn't know exactly where, but it'd been stagnating for a long time. It's had a good run with this final portfolio running. And so these were created in EA Studio. We can have a look at them by going in here and importing any of them back in. So maybe just this one. So we can see that this one's quite a simple strategy. Fixed stop loss and take profit, and just a Bollinger entry and exit rule. And it performs quite differently on those two data, but well on both. And Black Bull, it's been trading on the Nordic data, but it's also clearly done quite well. In terms of the portfolio, I tend to trade, again, this one's been whittled down a bit. Started off with about 10 EAs, and over time, some of them had not performed to my liking, so I've removed them and left the best performers. 5 would probably be about the minimum size of portfolio I would do, but there's 2 on USD JPY and 3 on other pairs, so there's 4 pairs trading. These are both uncorrelated strategies, so that by trading the portfolio obviously helps smooth out the equity curve. How were these created? I'll be putting more videos on how I create my EAs. I've generally got a similar workflow, but there's lots of different ways to use EA Studio to develop profitable strategies. But these all would have started off in the reactor. So I would have used EA Studio's reactor, or I did, to start off generating strategies, and then I don't optimize strategies. I just leave those settings off, but I do perform a Monte Carlo validation for all my strategies with the default here of 80% validated tests and 20% countive tests. So what that's going to do is just make sure the strategies are more robust. Then I pick the strategies, as I'll go through in there's too much to cover in this video. This is more just showing the portfolio, and so all of these strategies can be imported back in, and that one's, again, there's no reason. It's been not doing so well lately, although it's on Darwin X, so it's having a little bit of a dip, but generally that happens, so I'm not really concerned, and I'm going to leave that one trading. And of course we can ongoingly tweak strategies, as if this does continue to perform poorly, it's quite easy to pull your strategy back into EA Studio and maybe gently optimize optimize it to more suit the recent data. And that's another way to do things to adapt to the changing markets. But again, that will all be covered in future videos as I go through workflows to develop strategies. It's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is just to show the general outline of how the strategies were created and a bit of an overview of the Nordic Funder portal. So now these are now trading on a live account. So Nordic Funder were very quick. Within 48 hours, I had my live account credentials. So this is now a live account and has been trading not that long, but we can have a look at the history. So we can see that it's not made too many trades. I think it's made about 15 or something, which is nothing really. It's not enough to judge how it's going. It's the final portfolio. And of course, I will adapt to the markets as I kind of judge the performance as things go. So we can see that it started off in profit. It's had a few losers there, and it's got a few open trades. It's of course the weekend right now as I'm recording this. And so generally we can see that the equity is slightly over the starting of 100,000. The balance is less. It's performing in no unexpected way, really. Again, the best way to see it is by going to see the trading account. Sorry, I apologize for my internet. I'm currently in Vietnam, so it's not the fastest internet. But if I go to the funded accounts here, we can view the equity curve on FX Blue, as I said, which is the best way to do things. And so, yeah, if we go down here and we click the funded account, so now we can see that this has been trading just 10 days, and we can see the balance curve. We're not able to see the equity curve, but we can see that here, that the balance is obviously less than the starting, but the floating profit brings the equity above. But really, this isn't enough data or history to make any decisions. I'm sure if we stitch this onto the end of the previous equity curve, it would just be the tiniest of drops, and then it's just a little bit of stagnation. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. And if you want more information on how to create profitable strategies using EA Studio, please check out my next video. Also, I'll be making these strategies and these expert advisors available for download. So to use these 5 expert advisors on your own MetaTrader platforms, then please feel free to download them from the link in the video description. Okay, I'll see you soon.